Here we go, round number 2 of the GNCC Racing Series. The opening round, Big Buck in South Carolina showed a ton of excitement with some big names suffering some injuries, and Caleb Russell opening the season with a win. Can he repeat here in round 2? GNCC on MAVTV is next.
Are you ready to go GNCC Racing?
Welcome to Palatka, Florida for round 2 of the GNCC Racing Series. I'm Mikey Waynes, and this is the Moose Racing Wild Boar GNCC. First things first, a specialized race recap. Round number 1, Caleb Russell with a strong start to that one, followed closely by Thad Duvall and Ricky Russell in the number 3 spot. And how about that? Right here we're going to see Ricky Russell moving into that number 2 spot there as they went into the woods section. And honestly, that was about as close as they would get to Caleb Russell all day long. It was his show. And not without some drama in round number 1, mechanical errors, and of course injuries to both Thad Duvall on your screen right there. When will he be back racing, as well as this guy, Ben Kelly, going out with an injury as well. When will we see these guys back out at a GNCC? We're not sure. We know they're not lining up today. And round 1, that recap again. What a ride out of Ricky Russell. But like we said, Caleb Russell was the guy to beat. Josh Strang there in the number 3 spot. So that was your 1, 2, and 3 as we see Caleb Russell checking in at Big Buck with his first win of this farewell tour here in 2020. How about that? And now we take a look at the top 10 from the Big Buck GNCC. And we actually got a chance to catch up with Caleb after the race.
Yeah, I was expecting Ricky to be fast. You know, he was fast in last year on the Yamaha, and I knew maybe a little smaller bike, that 350 might suit him a little bit better, and he's kind of coming in as a rider. You know, he's turning around as a rider, so he's definitely, you know, a strong competitor. He works hard, so yeah, I wasn't super surprised. He's been, like I said, he's been, you know, he rides good, so happy to see some new guys up there mixing it up. It's cool, and like I said, we'll just try to keep doing our own thing and set that pace.
I love that 10-second call. Looking through the Yamaha Racing Sky Cam, and a whole shot award up for grabs here with row number 1, the XC1, courtesy of All Balls. Who's going to get it? It's Caleb Russell. How about that? Lane Michael right behind him in the number 2 spot, and looked like Jordan Ashburn there in 3rd. So these guys off and rolling. Great start. Ashburn gets around Lane Michael right there, but boy, great start for those guys. And boy, it may end up being a long day for that guy right there. Josh Strang, last rider into the woods. Boy, you know a rider like Strang, after a strong finish in round number 1, wants to come out here and have some of the same success. But that start, he is definitely going to have his work cut out for him here today. But a veteran, and he knows there's a lot of racing action left, a lot of time for him to catch up to these guys. We go back now to the starting line. The XC2 250 Pro Class Hot Cams Whole Shot Award up for grabs. Who is going to snag this one? How about it? Simon Johnson, the number 23 KTM. Boy, you got to feel good about that one. He's coming off a 10th place finish in round number 1. Simon Johnson, actually the top amateur in 2019. And I got to say, I think we expect to see some big things out of Simon Johnson this season in what is a very stacked XC2 class. Johnny Gerard, Mike Wachowski coming off the win, and of course, Craig DeLong riding aboard the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna today. We'll see how that one plays out. Back down to the start line now, the FMF XC3, courtesy Yamaha Racing Sky Cam right there. Can't get enough of that shot, man. What a cool look into the start. Dominic Morris taking the whole shot there on the number 156. and Tyler Sylvia on the Sherco machine in that number 2 spot. And boy, how about that? Look at that lead already for Dominic Morse to start things off. Good start for this one. See if he can hang on to that one. Again, like we were saying with Strang, 3-hour race. It's early, but that's definitely the start you want to see. Well, with our 3 featured classes off and rolling, we jump back into the racing action here. Caleb Russell out in front, Jordan Ashburn behind him in the number 2 spot aboard the Monster Energy Kawasaki, the Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Kawasaki. And Lane Michael, good start for him on the Ampro Yamaha, and the Factory One Sherco of Stu Baylor in 4th. GNCC returns right after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo E-Bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
Welcome back to the Moose Racing Wild Boar GNCC here in Palatka, Florida. Caleb Russell still out in front in this one, trying to do exactly what he did in round number 1. Control the pace, put some distance between him and the rest of the pack. Ashburn there in the number 2 spot, and followed closely in 3rd by Elaine Michael. And how about that? In the number 4 spot, knocking on the door, Elaine Michael, is Stu Baylor, a familiar position we saw Stu in just a couple weeks back at round number 1, Big Buck. Seemed like he just couldn't quite catch up to that 3rd place. Is that going to be some of the same things we're seeing here today? Ricky Russell there on screen, I believe, in the number 5 spot with Andrew DeLong in 4th, as Caleb Russell making his way in and through the FMF PowerPoint section. And yeah, I gotta wonder, man, are we gonna see the same kind of day for Stu Baylor there in that number 4 spot? Maybe that's what he's thinking too, is doggone it, I don't want to be here. I gotta get up and fight for this top 3 position here. Baylor on screen there, kind of looked over his shoulder, probably wondering, who's behind me? Who's behind me? How much time have I got? So Caleb Russell now back on screen and making quick work of that section. These guys, it's not easy by any means, but boy, they sure make it look easy. Impressive riding out of our top 4 riders right there, as Lane Michael goes by on screen. And Grant Baylor, the 314 Factory One Sherco on screen right there. And oh, how about that? Look at the pass by Ricky Russell getting around Andrew DeLong. Wow! Ricky Russell on the charge. The 212 Coastal Racing Husqvarna is absolutely ripping out there right now. That is impressive stuff. And the 998, not a familiar number if you watch with us regularly. That is actually Todd Kellet out of the UK. He moves into the, I believe that's the number 6 spot for him after a 9th place start on the day. Finding his groove here in the sands of Florida. How about that? Florida, one of those rounds where we see a lot of faces and riders we don't normally get at any other race of the year. As many know, Daytona Bike Week goes on while we're down here in Florida, and of course Supercross as well. So it gives riders and just motorcycle enthusiasts a chance to make a short drive over here to Palatka and check out what GNCC racing is all about. So starting to see a gap between Caleb Russell and, in fact, the 1st and 2nd and 3rd place riders all within each other's grasp at this point. But Caleb Russell still in control. Ashburn and Stu have to like where they're at right now. Not ready for to let Caleb Russell out of their sights just yet. Lane Michael still in that number 4 spot, trying to keep the pace of our front runners. Love this open section here. It gives us a chance to see these guys battle and see some of the speed they have here in the sands of Florida. And how about that Yamaha Racing Sky Cam? Doesn't get much better than that. Absolutely. Big shout out to the fine folks at RacerTV and Racer Productions for their hard work and the progression with this broadcast. Certainly nothing like the GNCC in the world. And boy, front row seats. We'll have more front row seat action here in just a second. Welcome back to the Moose Racing Wild Boar GNCC. Caleb Russell still out in front in this one. The number 127 Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Kawasaki still in second. That is Jordan Ashburn. And how about this? Lane Michael on the Ampro Yamaha now into the number 3 spot. Where is Stu Baylor? And look at this, not good. Eric, the mechanic for the Factory One Sherco team, on the radio there. Grant Baylor putting his bike up on the stand, and Stu Baylor on the e-bike, no helmet, heading back in the opposite direction. This is absolute chaos for the Sherco pits right now. Not where you want to be. Looks like Grant Baylor, the 314 machine, able to get back on 2 wheels and out on the track. This is going to be a long afternoon if you're Grant Baylor, and you got to wonder if maybe Stu isn't done for the day right there. Man, that is a heartbreaker for the Factory One Sherco team. I will say this, they knew they were new on the GNCC Pro Row this season. They have got the pieces to the puzzle. It's just a matter of getting it all put together. They're making adjustments in round 1. They're making adjustments, obviously, here today. They'll get it together. I believe they will before this season's up. Back into the racing action. Caleb, you saw on screen, still out in front. Jordan Ashburn hard on the charge there in the number 2 spot as they pass the 8-mile marker. We got a little shot of GNCC photographer Ken Hill right there. And there is the 523 Ampro Yamaha of Lane Michael in the number 3 spot. What a ride out of Lane today. We have certainly seen some glimpses of greatness for Lane Michael, but can he keep that pace for 3 hours? And how about this? Ricky Russell bust onto the scene. Wow! Where did Ricky Russell come from? He wants to throw his name in the hat now. Caleb Russell back on screen. Man, I want to see where Ricky Russell's at. That was impressive. Came out of nowhere. There's Jordan Ashburn right there, and right behind him as they work around lappers, there's Ricky Russell. Can Ricky Russell get around Ashburn? We take a look from the Yamaha Racing Sky Cam, and the race is on. Ricky Russell fights to get around him, not quite yet. Different line choices, and Ricky Russell able to edge out Jordan Ashburn and take position. Look at that. Look at him go. Man, making short work of the lappers, getting around them, and that has got to be exciting if you're a Ricky Russell fan. It's got to be frustrating for those rooting for Jordan Ashburn right now. How about that, though? That right there is what GNCC Racing is all about. Meanwhile, Caleb Russell pushing that lead to nearly a minute out now. And, boy, battle clearly still on between Ashburn and Ricky Russell for second. What an incredible race this has been. Caleb right there on screen. Nobody but lappers. No one in the rearview mirror. Ricky Russell's got Jordan Ashburn in his rearview mirror right now. Those guys duking it out for that number 2 spot. What some exciting racing action right there. Impressive stuff. And these guys rolling. Ricky Russell in that number 2 spot now. Jordan Ashburn in the number 3 position. And no signs of 4th place yet. Caleb making good work. Like I said, these guys seem to make it look easy at times. And how about that? No one behind him. There's Ricky Russell right there in the number 2 spot. Looks to be a bit of a gap now opening up between Ricky Russell and Jordan Ashburn as they come out of the swamp section here in the sands of Florida. And we wait for the 4th place rider. Who is it going to be? We know Stu had the issues. Josh Strang, how about that? After the rough start for Josh Strang, last into the woods, now moves up into the number 4 spot. And, boy, if he can track down Jordan Ashburn, we may have us a little teammate battle here between the Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Kawasaki riders of Strang and Ashburn. Ricky Russell back on screen right there. What an impressive ride it's been for Ricky Russell so far. Him and Strang both. Podium finishes in round number 1. Looks like they want a little more of that action here in round number 2. Caleb riding like he knows he's in control of this one. And how about it? That is impressive. Ricky Russell moving through right there in that number 2 spot. And we jump into the Yamaha Sky Cam right here. Ricky Russell now looking like Caleb early on, obviously in the number 2 position, but boy, the gap that he's opened up, you got to wonder if Ashburn has fallen off the pace a little bit here. Will that open the door for Josh Strang? As Ricky Russell exits the woods section back out onto the track, and we keep our eyes on that Yamaha Racing Sky Cam here, looking for Jordan Ashburn to pop out, or is it going to be Strang? That is Ashburn. So Ashburn still in the number 3 spot. Oh, he goes down. Ashburn is down. Quickly gets back to the bike. Is it going to be enough time? I don't think so. That is bad news for Jordan Ashburn, but opens up the door for Josh Strang now, who should be in that number 3 spot here. That may have been Strang that passed him. Boy, I can't tell. We'll know in just a second. Caleb Russell out in front still. Man, what an impressive start to this 2020 season Caleb Russell's had. The farewell tour has been like no other. Ricky Russell in the number 2 spot. I gotta say, that Coastal Racing Husqvarna seems to be a great fit for Ricky Russell. Who's going to be in 3rd? I'm thinking that was Strang that got around him, and there he is. Josh Strang in the number 3 spot now after the rough start for him. He's now in that 3rd and final podium position. Absolutely impressive stuff. Caleb right here, riding like he knows he's in control of this one. Takes a sip of water, works his way through. And we should see Ricky Russell coming through here next. We'll see if maybe Strang has closed the gap a little bit, and he has. Look at that. Different line choices for the 2 riders. Ricky Russell hard on the throttle, Strang right behind him. More GNCC racing action coming up after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo E-Bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
Well, Caleb Russell still out in front in this one, doing his Caleb Russell thing, if you will. What an impressive start to this 2020 season for him. Josh Strang moves into the number 2 spot now and has actually been able to put a little bit of distance between him and 3rd place rider on screen there, Ricky Russell. But boy, I gotta say, my hat is off to both of these riders as they have just had an impressive race so far today. Caleb Russell works his way around a couple lappers, and there's Josh Strang right there doing the same. So as we get down to the nitty-gritty in this one, looks like we've got some pretty good distance between each of our top 3. Fred Andrews there giving Josh Strang the pit board, probably says, don't stop now, throttle down. You got a guy behind you, it's Ricky Russell. Maybe. Couple lappers right there. And there, Ricky Russell pops on screen, the number 212. How about that? The handguard flopping on the right-hand side there. No big deal. Ricky don't mind. Caleb doesn't mind. 1 turn to go, and he will take the checkered flag. Back-to-back wins to start the farewell tour. How about it? Caleb Russell with a win here at the Moose Racing Wild Boar. Wow, what an impressive start to the 2020 season for Caleb Russell. The things he has done on a motorcycle throughout his career and here today, absolutely impressive. Strang now 1 turn for him, and he will check in officially with the number 2 spot on the day. Congratulations, what a ride after a rough start. Gets the good job from Cameron, his wife, there at the finish line, and some much needed water. And now Ricky Russell, 1 more turn for him, and he will take the number 3 spot. What a ride out of him today as well. Seems to really do well on that Husqvarna. Down to Caleb Russell with the Specialized post-race interview.
Yeah, it was a tough day. Got a great start, fortunately, and just kind of did my own thing. Just tried to do the same thing that I did at Big Buck, just ride really good. Just ride smooth and patient, not make any mistakes, and yeah, I just kept that pretty steady pace there the first 3 or 4 laps, and really throughout the whole thing. But yeah, I was able to get that buffer and just kind of bide my time and ride mistake-free laps. And you know, it's easy to do that when you're not under pressure. You can kind of do your own thing and pick your lines and get around the lappers a little bit stress-free. So It was a good day, a brutal course. It wasn't as bad as it has been in years past. I don't know why, but I don't know why that is, but it just seemed a little bit easier this year than normally. But still, nonetheless, my hands are killing me, man. they're smoked. So I'm gonna be feeling it tomorrow.
Well, the hands may hurt, but they got to hurt a little less knowing you're walking away with a win. No doubt about it. A look here at the top 10 from today. How about that? Some great riding. Welcome to the 998 of Todd Kellet, by the way, finishing 6th. That's impressive. We're going to go down to Josh Strang now.
Yeah, it was difficult. The track was, man, it was just rough from the first lap, you know, the morning race. Just the slower guys in this sand, I think they call it sugar sand, and that's exactly what it is. They just, whenever you roll the bumps, that bumps just get bigger and bigger, and the sand's so loose. It's so hard to keep on top of them. You might keep on top of 3, and then you'll fall into a couple, and it's just gnarly. So I didn't do myself any favors. Got a bad start, and then it was difficult to pass there. And some of the guys had some creative lines there the first lap, and I mean, I rode the course, pre-rode the course twice, and I didn't see him. But anyway, it was a good day overall.
Well, it certainly was a good day, Josh. No doubt about that. Have to agree with you. Taking a look now at the Specialized race recap. Early on, Caleb Russell taking the whole shot, and honestly, never looked back from there. An absolute dominating performance here at round number 2, the Moose Racing Wild Boar GNCC, and some great rides out of a whole slew of other guys. But today's race, not without a little bit of heartbreak. It was a tough day if you were one of the Baylor brothers. Grant able to make a salvage his day, and boy, some great racing action there as well, as we can look in on those passes. So thankful to have that Yamaha Racing Sky Cam. How about it? Pretty impressive stuff. Tough break for Jordan Ashburn. Was riding great throughout the day. Went down right there, and that proved to be the difference maker for him. Real tough break. We got to think that before this season's up, we're going to see Jordan Ashburn get this thing together, and I got to expect him on some podiums. Ricky Russell on screen there. Great ride out of him. But like we said, at the end of the day, it was back-to-back wins for this guy right here, Caleb Russell. What a race. Congratulations as well to Johnny G on his win in the XC2 today. Well, on behalf of GNCC and RacerTV, I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.